Hello, my name is Corinne Talham. This is an interview about fresh laundry and cafe for the Gainesville Business History Oral History Project run by the Inquire Capitalism program of the History Department at the University of Florida. Understand that for us and for the public, the information you are providing is a gift and it is an incredible historical resource and we dearly appreciate it. This interview will be available as part of UF Oral History Collections and through UF Digital Collections and YouTube. So can you please introduce yourself? What's your full name and could you spell it?
Maritza Padgett, Maritza. Padgett is Padgett.
Thank you. So can you tell me a little bit about yourself? Were you born in Gainesville or how did you end up in Gainesville?
No, I am not from Gainesville. I actually started my first laundromat business down in St. Petersburg and wanted to have the opportunity to do a larger business, and this property was kind of sitting on the market derelict for a little while, and one of my laundromat equipment providers told me about it, and I said, well, let's go take a look and see if it's something that could be rehabbed into what I wanted to create.
Great.
So.
Did you always know that you wanted to own your own business?
I have been self-employed since 2000. Before that, I had been a salesperson basically for moving and storage companies. So I was in outside sales, kind of independently, on your own, but not really.
Yeah.
So yes, I'd always wanted to be my own business person, and looked for opportunities on how to do that.
Yeah. So what was the process of starting this business? You said it was kind of a derelict building for a while.
Yes.
What sort of went into putting it all together?
Yeah, this used to be the Gator Suyaki Chinese restaurant for many years, and I believe it was quite beloved in Gainesville. A lot of my existing customers that come to the laundromat tell me stories about eating here, so I found that really intriguing. And I was glad that it had happy memories for people, because I think buildings kind of hold memory.
Yeah.
So when we first came to look at the property, it was really run down. It was covered with graffiti. You could tell it had been neglected. And but when I walked in the doors, I could see the space had opportunity to be more than just an ordinary laundromat, and that excited me.
Yeah.
So it was. It took about a year to put it together as far as the plans and changing plans and making modifications and figuring out what the city would allow and not. So
what inspired the laundromat and cafe idea?
Well, the property itself kind of inspired it. I knew I wanted to be part of the Laundry Cares Foundation as part of our laundromat industry has this little foundation called the Laundry Cares Foundation, and they, through various major cities, started a literacy program.
Oh, cool.
And they partnered with local libraries to provide reading programs, free reading programs, with volunteers coming to read to kids, and to inspire kids to learn to love to read books. And for me, reading books was like really part of my childhood, and I think that if you can learn to read at a young age, you can be successful in anything. Yeah. Whether you can go on to do, college or whatever, reading is like foundational. Yeah. So for me, I knew I wanted to incorporate that. This place had the space to do that. The cafe was kind of strangely, I'd always wanted to have a little coffee shop. One of those little drive-up coffee shops was always something I kind of wanted to do. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to have my little coffee shop and my laundromat and my little library for the kids, and just kind of like put it all together in one spot. And it was really kind of a dream for me to be able to do that here.
Awesome. Were there any challenges or obstacles that you faced in opening the business and getting all your all your dreams kind of together.
Together.
Yeah.
Well, the challenge was my lack of experience in putting all of that together.
Yeah.
But I had a great team. I mean, really, the city, the people, the local people here, really supported me and helped me figure it out. It really, the normal problems when you're doing a build out, there's just normal construction delays, things like that. But nothing that wasn't easy enough to overcome.
Yeah, yeah.
So.
Were there any significant risks you took in starting the business?
Well, personally, yeah, I used my retirement savings to fund the purchase of the property, and then I got an SBA loan to help me fund the build out and the equipment purchase. So I've got a big hefty loan on this property, and using my retirement money was, a happy choice that I made, because I would rather invest it into something that I, kind of like a legacy,
Yeah.
So I'm able to earn a living running the business too. So I'm like, it's a win. It's a win.
Yeah.
So.
Great. Do you get a lot of kids coming to the literacy corner?
Yes. So every month I get books shipped for free from the Scholastic Book Company.
Oh, great, yeah.
And that's through the Laundry Cares Foundation. So I fill this up, and it's emptied out. I fill it up every month, and it gets emptied out.
Yeah.
So the kids do use this space quite well. They provided the furniture, the little table and chairs and little sofa, and it really is, parents have told me how they really appreciate that there's a safe place for their kids to play, and they don't have to run around the laundromat banging on doors and stuff. So
awesome.
I'm really pleased with the use of the space.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I also see your Hippo Gourmet Ice Pop sign.
Yes, yeah.
Do you feel like you've really become a part of the Gainesville community? Like you've met other business owners and sort of...
I initially was part of the chamber, the Gainesville Chamber, and when you're starting a business, you really don't have a lot of time to do much other than to start your business and to run it and get it functioning smoothly. But I love Gainesville's local entrepreneur spirit, that Gainesville is full of lots of little local businesses, and to me that was the attraction as well. Not just big corporate businesses, but the heart of the community is your small businesses, and they serve all the people that live here, and that's really important to me. So I'm happy to be a part of that. Yes.
And can I ask you about your customer base? Is it mostly students, or do you think mostly locals?
It's mostly locals. We do get a good student use during the school year, but the locals are the ones who really sustain us and that provide us the repeat business that a business needs to survive. So.
Can you talk a little bit about some of the marketing or advertising strategies that you use?
So again, I tried to go on a local basis for that as well. I did run ads in the Alligator, and then the Chronicle, the other little local paper for this area. So I've run little local ads for that. Other than that, I haven't done any major advertising at all. Google, Yelp, Google, all those. But I don't pay for advertising. So word of mouth is really the best.
It's the nice thing about a sort of small town with a lot of small businesses is that people talk about where they go and talk about it.
Exactly.
Back to sort of business things. What services do your customers typically use more often? And do you have a drop-off, pick-off?
We do. We have a wash and fold service, and that is really quite successful here. I was pleasantly surprised how busy that has been for us. And that is, I would say a lot of the locals use that as well. It's not just students. I expected students to use it just for convenience, because we partnered with DoorDash and Uber and those people to do the pickup and delivery for us, so I don't have to fund a fleet of vehicles.
Yeah.
And that has been good. It's been a great way to do it.
Yeah.
So the students do use it, but it's mostly locals. There's a lot of Airbnbs who come here and drop off their linens from their establishments, and it's quite surprising, but it's a good service that people are using. And then the self-service the self-service laundry is of course doing great.
Yeah.
The cafe, I'm actually seeking to partner with somebody to run the cafe, because it's really a separate entity that needs somebody who's more skilled and passionate than, we've got great coffee with Sweetwater Organic Coffee, Hippo Pops, things like that. I've tried to incorporate local products, but for food, it's not like a big, you got bagels and muffins and simple things, but not food, so.
I guess, have you considered teaming up or working with local bakeries to get pastries and stuff?
Yeah, I initially contacted a few, and I didn't have a great, they were swamped. They were swamped and overwhelmed, and it was just I think it was a timing thing. So I'm actually going to be contacting the nonprofit Working Food. Are you familiar with Working Food? So they've got their giving garden, and they've got all kinds of things that they do to promote food service in Gainesville. And so I was going to reach out to them and see how we could maybe work together on something here.
Yeah.
So,
awesome. And your staff, how many employees do you have?
I currently have 8 staff right now, and we're open from 7 a.m. till 11 p.m. every day.
Yeah.
We do close on major holidays like Christmas and New Year's, which isn't typical. Most laundromats are open kind of 24/7 or so I feel it's really important to honor my staff, because they're the first face that my customers see, and I want them to have a decent quality of life just as much as I do.
Yeah.
So I try and be reasonable, and you know what? Who needs to do laundry on Christmas Day? Yeah. Honestly.
Yeah. And do you have a lot of students that work for you, or is it?
I have a couple students. I have 3 out of that 8. 3 are students right now.
Yeah.
And so having a flexible schedule for them, I'm happy. I love working with the students. It's been great.
Yeah.
So.
And so you talked about trying to find maybe someone else to manage the cafe.
Yes.
Was that a challenge you faced, trying to do both?
It has been, because the laundromat has been my primary focus, and that's where my experience is.
Yeah.
I mean, and the investment in the building has been towards the laundromat more than the cafe.
Yeah.
So obviously I put my energy towards that, building that up and getting that running smoothly. And now I feel like after 2 years I can focus on, let's figure out how I can make this better.
Yeah.
So.
Sorry. Your machines are coin-free?
Yes, we do not use coins here. We use, you can either download the free app. There's an app that you can operate the washers and the dryers with, or you can get a laundry card, which is a reloadable credit card that we provide at the kiosk.
Yeah.
It's been well received. It was a little bit of a challenge for a lot of people in the beginning when they're not sure what is all how to do all this, but that's why we have staff here to help.
Yeah.
So.
And what was the motivation behind that? Just easier to manage?
Absolutely, 100% easier to manage. The coin machines come with a whole load of other mechanical maintenance challenges.
Yeah. Sorry, I didn't write all the questions.
You're fine.
So.
Yeah, take your time.
What would you consider your greatest success in running this business?
For me, success. success?
It's a hard question.
Yeah, for me, making a place that is, my greatest success is my customers' satisfaction. Let me put it that way. When my customers leave here and tell me thank you for having such a nice place to come and do laundry, thank you for your staff that's so helpful, that makes me feel good. That's my success. So, and yeah, obviously, I need to pay the bills. So it doesn't hurt when there's, when there's profit every month. So, but the greatest success for me is that I'm making people's lives a little more pleasant. Coming to do a chore that isn't fun. Nobody likes doing laundry. I don't know anybody that likes doing laundry, but at least they have a place that they feel safe and comfortable and welcomed. So,
do you have any plans to expand the business or keep it going the way it is?
Keep this. The laundry part is doing really well. I don't think I really need to change much there. Just the cafe part, I would like to expand that. And other than that, I'm pretty satisfied with everything else.
Do you have a lot of competition in Gainesville?
Literally, since I opened this laundromat, I think 3 other laundromats have opened. It shocked me. It's shocked me. But yeah, there's a lot of laundromats in Gainesville, and I think it's because a lot of people are on well water, and well water is not good for laundromat, for equipment, for washing machines and dryers. So yeah, there's a lot of laundromats here.
Oh, I had a question and then I forgot it. Sorry, our interviews go sometimes for like an hour, but sometimes people just answer really quickly and know exactly what they're saying, so we might be done soon.
Okay, no, you're very fine. I'm not a super wordy person, so.
Okay. I'm not either.
Not full of adjectives.
So when you first sort of moved into laundry and the laundromat, was that a challenge for you? Was that a big difference from what you were doing before sales?
Well, it's all customer service. Here you're utilizing machines to do a lot of the work. So for me, the attraction to that was that it was less labor intensive. I didn't need a giant staff. It was different from that respect, and that's what kind of appealed to me, was that I had an investment in equipment, but the equipment was, if you buy the right equipment, it does the work for you. It's a good investment. So.
Honestly, that might be just about it. I guess my last question I think I may have already asked this, was do you feel, or maybe about the customers, is it a lot of return customers?
It is. And that's what's wonderful is you actually develop relationships with these people. You see the little kids kind of growing up, and you miss. Like if somebody doesn't come on their regular day, you're like, I hope they're okay. So it's really kind of sweet that way. You do have that relationship with people.
And you really start to feel like you're a part of the community.
100%.
And you know people.
100%. Yes.
That's great. Okay, well, thank you.
You're welcome.